You know, that medicine in your cabinet, have you ever stopped to think about how it got there? Its journey from a lab to your shelf is one of the most rigorous, high-stakes data stories in the entire world. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how that story is written, step by step, to earn our trust. This is the fundamental question, right? It's the one thing that stands between a potential breakthrough and, well, all of us. And answering it takes way more than just good science. It requires a literal mountain of evidence, all of it meticulously gathered and scrutinized to prove a treatment is both safe and effective. Because at its core, that's what this is. It's a story about data. It's this long, careful journey of turning thousands of individual patient experiences, every single blood pressure reading, every reported side effect, into one single trusted verdict that regulators can absolutely stand behind. Now, just like any high-stakes mission, you don't just jump in. A clinical trial starts with a map, a blueprint, and this thing is created long before the first patient ever walks in the door. Its whole purpose is to make sure the entire process is rigorous and trustworthy from day one. See, this isn't some free-for-all. The entire global research community operates under this single, strict rulebook called Good Clinical Practice, or GCP. You can think of it as the international standard that guarantees a trial in Tokyo is held to the exact same high ethical and data quality standards as one in Toronto. And within that huge framework is the Data Management Plan, or DMP. This is the master blueprint for the data itself. It is incredibly detailed. I mean, it defines everything from how a number should be entered to the exact procedure for what to do if there's a contradiction. The goal? To create this comprehensive instruction manual that leaves absolutely zero room for error. And believe me, this planning stage is exhaustive. It all starts with the core scientific questions. Then it moves to assessing all the resources you're going to need. And it ends with documenting everyone's roles with crystal clarity. Every single task is assigned to a specific person, making sure there's no confusion, no ambiguity about who is responsible for what. Okay, so with the blueprint firmly in place, the focus shifts to the people. Because finding the right participants is a huge challenge, and the way we do it now has been completely transformed by technology. The days of just seeing a flyer in a doctor's office, yeah, those are pretty much gone. Today, recruitment is this high-tech, data-driven operation. Companies use sophisticated analytics and digital outreach to find and connect with the exact people they need for a study, no matter where they live. So we have a plan, and we have our participants. The next crucial step can begin, capturing the data. This is the moment where a patient's real-world experience gets translated into a precise digital data point. And the main tool for this is called the case report form, or CRF. The easiest way to think about it is as the official diary of a patient's journey through the trial. Every single measurement and observation required by the study protocol gets meticulously recorded right here. And this whole process has gone through a revolution. We've moved from giant stacks of paper to electronic data capture, or EDC systems. And the difference is, well, it's night and day. Instead of taking weeks to find a mistake on a piece of paper, these automated systems can flag potential errors the very moment the data is entered. It makes the entire process faster and just so much more reliable. But just because the data is in the system doesn't mean it's ready. Oh no. Now comes the most intensive, behind-the-scenes phase, the great data cleanup. This is where good data becomes pristine, trustworthy data. The goal here isn't just good data. The standard they're aiming for is data of such high quality that it supports conclusions identical to those drawn from error-free data. Think about that for a second. It is an incredibly high bar. It means the data has to be, for all intents and purposes, functionally perfect. So how do they do that? Well, it's a constant cycle of review. Automated systems run these edit checks, just constantly looking for anything that doesn't make sense. A logical impossibility, like a pregnancy form completed for a male patient, or a birth year that says someone is 130 years old. When a check fires, a query is instantly sent back to the research site for a person to review and correct it. But here's the next big challenge. A headache might be recorded as dolor de cabeza in Spain, Kopfschmerzen in Germany, and just headache in the US. How in the world do you standardize all of that so a computer can actually understand it? The solution is a set of global standards from an organization called CDISC.
The best way to think of it is like a universal filing system for data. These standards tell you exactly how data should be structured and labeled so that dolor de cabeza from Spain and headache from the US both end up in the exact same digital folder. This is what lets regulators like the FDA analyze data from all over the world as if it came from one single source.
So after months, sometimes even years, of collecting, cleaning, and standardizing, the data's journey reaches its climax. It's time to finalize everything and prepare for the final verdict. And this is where the process reaches its most decisive moment, what's called the database lock. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Once all the data is in, all the questions are resolved, and every team signs off, the database is sealed, locked. No more changes can ever be made. The story is officially written. And that final locked dataset, that is the product of this entire incredible journey. It's then handed over to statisticians who will perform the final analysis. This is the evidence. This is the complete story that gets submitted to regulators to prove whether the new medicine works and if it's safe. Ultimately, every single step in this journey, the detailed planning, the meticulous collection, the relentless cleaning, it's all designed to build one thing: trust. The final approval really hinges on the trust that the data has absolute integrity and that the conclusions drawn from it are completely sound. Today, this whole process relies so much on human diligence. But looking ahead, the rise of AI poses a really fascinating question. How can we use new technology to make this data journey even faster and more robust? Maybe even accelerating breakthroughs while building an even deeper foundation of trust. It's something to think about.